Hi, we're out at Cleethorpes today for the Queen's Jubilee weekend, bank holiday weekend. We've got the Mini 3 with us. We're going to we've got Mini 3, Xeno Mini Pro and the Mini 2, and we're going to try and do a bit of a better comparison of the video quality out of all of those drones. So without further ado, I think I'm going to start recording. I don't want to spend too much time because we've only got so much time on the recording and everything, and you don't want to see me waffle on. So let's get this up in the air. And it's a little bit windy today, so we'll see how we're getting on. Seems to be holding quite well. UAV forecast was saying it was good to fly, so you know, it's basically gusts of 19 miles an hour, about 9 miles an hour wind. So let's see how we get on. Let's put it up. What I want to do is sort of have a look towards the pier down there, which I can see in front of me. So I want to go up, and then I want to sort of go down the beach to the pier and back again. And I want to go up, and we sort of try and do a bit of a, so we want to go up. I want to get up to about sort of 60 meters, I think. And let's see, I've got my screen recording going on the drone controller. And yeah, someone said that we didn't get any sky the other day, so I want to try and get a bit more sky to get a feeling for how good this camera is. So yeah, let's go up to about, let's come down to 60, 65 is fine, about that, because we want to be able to compare the footage from the two drones. So let's go forward down the beach and see how this does, whether we get any strong wind warnings. We may do, I'm hoping not. It's going down the beach though, no problem. Yeah, it's doing pretty well. We took the Mini 2 here before. It's a nice place to come, actually, quite easy to get parking, I think, despite it being a bank holiday. Just a nice, just nice. It's a bit cooler today than it was yesterday. We had a bit of an aborted attempt. We went to Whitby and didn't manage to kind of get what we wanted there, which is a shame. But yeah, it was a bit too windy that day. But today is really good, so we're gonna, well, it's better. It's a little bit cooler, that's why I'm wearing a hoodie, really. But yeah, we're going down the beach towards the pier. So let's hope. I mean, this screen is fantastic on this controller. Very easy to see what we're getting from the drone. I've very clear. It's very nice. Probably just my other phone's not got as good a quality screen, which is a shame. But I'm going to go down to the pier and then come back again, and I'm going to do that with each drone, and hopefully we'll be able to sort of see the difference in picture quality and just see how well each of the drones are doing, really. It's sort of blowing in a bit. It's going a bit towards the pier there. We're going down the beach. We're over the sort of water, so there's not many people sort of in that area. It's a bit like sort of muddy. It's like kind of, it's not many people underneath. So weak antenna, but we are actually pointed towards the drone. You see the drone further up, so going down. Right, so yeah, same weak antenna, but it is actually connected to it. Right, just get a view over here, and then I think what we might do is fly out just in front of the pier there. So I want to get a view of that. Just go out to the sort of, so you can see it's like the tide's quite far out, but it's quite muddy and sandy down there, if you like. So just go out a bit, then we sort of turn around and see if we can see the pier there. Just give a bit of a view over. In fact, we're probably going to have to come back a bit. It's a bit further back. It's quite a nice beach though. Yeah, it's sandy beach, so it's pretty good. Where I'm standing, there's a lot of actual like jet, I think you call it. It's sort of like, coal in the sand. But I thought it'd be a good spot because I wouldn't be annoying anybody else here. So yeah, get a bit of a view over. Let's just lift up the camera to get the sky. Just sort of have a bit of a view across. Just want to have a look across the Cleethorpes there, just to sort of give some different colours and things, and just go right round and have a look at the sea, and then we'll try and do the same thing with each drone, and then hopefully we can see what the sort of colour you're getting out of the what's this 1/1.3 inch sensor giving us versus the Xeno Mini Pro and the Mini 2. and also have a nice look at Cleethorpes, which is a nice place. So yeah, just sort of spinning around carefully, not going too fast, sort of so you can pick up some of the colour in the, you know, it's hard to tell from my screen because obviously you're only getting a 1080p feedback from the drone, and it's on a small screen. So you know, when we see this video, when we edit it, hopefully we're going to see a really nice, you know, really nice picture from this drone, and hopefully from all three drones, because the Mini 2 is a good value. So we really, you know, that's looking like a good drone to go with, really, if you don't have the budget for the Mini 3 Pro. And I think a lot of people, they're just trying to get good filming of their trip. So I'm just going in towards the beach again now, and then what I think I'll do is I'll just turn it back down towards, you know, the controllers are quite accurate as well on this. Like the sticks are quite, they can make quite nice smooth adjustments. It is actually quite a good new controller. I think the Mini 2 controller was a lot more urgent, if you like, than this. So let's get it to come back down the beach, and we sort of get a sweeping view. Now it will probably be hard to get it exactly the same position as what we got the, you know, as what each drone. They may not be 100% exactly the same place that the drone ends up in, but what we'll try and do is get as much of a similar path as we can, and then we can compare the footage of the three of them, really. So, you know, and hopefully get nice, you know, different views. And I think the Xeno Mini Pro, I think we're trying the orange side today of the pad. So let's just see if that lands well. So, but yeah, really, I really like this controller. You know, it's got screen recording and stuff built in, so if you're doing videos like this, it's still very good for that. And it's a really, really nice controller. You're very easy to pick out the screen, I'd say. It's not meant to be as good as the sort of previous DJI RC Pro screen, but you know, that had 1000 nits, but it's pretty good. I'm guessing my Android phone is just a bit too budget, and because I kind of bought it just for the drones. And that's the thing, you know, if you've got to factor in, if you haven't got a smartphone or a tablet, you're kind of having to factor in the cost as well of a tablet or a phone. Now, a lot of people got phones, but some people, you know, don't like phones. Some of my relatives don't, they won't use smartphones. They're just totally against smartphones. So what I think we'll do now is get it to return home. So we'll come back down the beach. Let's get it to return home. Hopefully it will do that itself. And then it will come back down, and hopefully we can get it down the landing pad. You've got to be careful of sand, really, because we've had a lot of problems with our Mini 1 in particular. We took it to the beach in Varna, and it got, you know, we were still finding sand in that drone. You had to basically take the drone apart and get all the sand out. So, you know, and that's what I did in the end. That was the best way to get all the sand out of the drone. But yeah, it's definitely something you need to be careful of. You don't really want sand, but so I think what will happen is we will probably you know, take control of this drone as it's landing, because it's coming down now, and then make sure that it doesn't, you know, it doesn't do it. But yeah, what we're gonna, and also I think, you know, I may even stop the recording and change the camera battery, because we did have issues before with the recording, but we'll have a look at that. We did do a lot more with the drone on that day. So yeah, so we're going to be changing in between drones, and so hopefully, but it's coming down. It's definitely not going to land on the landing pad, so I'm going to do a manual landing. It's definitely not going to do that. So let's just bring it down, turn it towards the drone pad. And this is the downside of, you know, maybe these sort of drones that don't have, you know, landing, you know, precision landing options, is then you've got to kind of manually land it. It is a good skill to sort of develop anyway, so you've got more precise control of the drone. But let's bring it down, and what we're trying to avoid is the sand. And I think we're going to not quite avoid it. not too bad. I don't think it's got too far into the sand that we've got a problem there. Okay, we're back with the Xeno Mini Pro. Packed away the Mini 3 Pro, that did a good job. Screen quality, very difficult. Right, this drone won't have any FPV at the moment. I'm going to turn on the screen recording. It won't have any FPV because it doesn't have an FPV till it takes off, so we have to remember to turn on that recording. I know you have to remember, but it's because it's a different sequence from other drones. It kind of gives you a bit of a sort of confusion. Right, so I'm going to take off. The first thing I'm going to do...
Obstacle avoidance mode. Please fly with caution.
First thing I'm going to do, turn on the recording. So now the recording's on. Bring it up towards the camera for a second, point it towards the pier, and I want to go up. It's sort of drifting a little bit in the wind there. So I want to go up to 65 meters where we were before and look towards the pier. I'm taking it up now. And I think we'll drop the camera down a little bit. I think that's probably a little bit too high. I don't think the Mini 3 Pro was... Right, so we're a little bit too high at the moment. Let's come back down. Yeah, we're good. Right, drop the camera down a little bit, I think. I think we're sort of similar to that. And go forward, pointing at the pier. And that's the plan, to go straight towards that pier and back again. And hope that no seagulls sort of take an interest and try to take us out. I haven't seen any seagulls actually, but that might mean they're all up there waiting to get us. So last time we went down to the pier, I think, and then we sort of looked at we sort of went away from the pier. We sort of looked around and then went away, didn't we? So let's do the same thing again. I don't think we'll get it exactly right. And of course, you know, drones will drift because of wind and what have you. So, you know, and certainly with these sort of mini drones, if you've got like a windier day, certainly by a seaside coast, you're not going to get perfect flight. You know, maybe with an Air 2S, you'd get a bit more, because it'd be a heavier drone, it will go towards the pier a bit easier. But yeah, sort of veering off a little bit there. And that's something to watch out for, because I thought the Mini 3 Pro pretty much went straight down. I thought that it kind of handled, you know, going up to the pier pretty well. It didn't seem to move around too much. Again though, what are you buying a drone for? Are you just doing it to get video of your holiday? Do you really need the expensive features? Now that's the thing, you know, this Xeno Mini Pro is probably in between the Mini 2 and the Mini 3 Pro. So, you know, let you be the judge of the camera quality. Because I think people buy things for camera quality. That's what the main reason is. So I don't think people buy it for all the snazzy features. They're quite nice to have. Circle around a few things, you know, do that kind of stuff. A lot of the drones have those sort of features. So you're kind of going to be able to do circling around stuff. You know, they might do it in a slightly different way. The mini drones, the DJI drones, are a little bit more sort of, you know, they've got a kind of nice feature for enabling that. You know, and you could just kind of draw a box around stuff, which the Xeno Mini Pro doesn't have, I don't think. I think you have to kind of fly over the top of it and then back off. Right, so now I think we went out to near behind the pier. I don't really want to fly over the pier, so I'm just going to sort of go out behind it and then turn round, and then we'll see where we are. Yeah, signal's probably a bit ropey. Hang on, I want to drop the camera down. So I think we're out over the pier, or we're not far from the pier. So I'm going to go back. And just hopefully you're getting, you know, some good footage from each drone, and then you'll be able to make a kind of decision on what picture quality you prefer.
Please fly with caution.
Yeah, high winds, there you go. The lady has spoken.
High winds. Please fly with caution.
I don't think we're...
High winds. Please fly with caution.
I think for a minute we'll be okay, because the wind's coming towards us. You know, but that's interesting. We didn't get any wind warnings on the Mini 3 Pro, certainly none that I spotted on the controller. So, right, so there we're out looking around now. I think we did a bit of a vista. Now this moves a lot faster around, so harder to kind of do a nice vista of the area. It moves a lot faster. There was a lot more precision control, I think, on the Mini 3. Like the new controller seems quite sort of good for making smaller movements. So, but yeah, we'll kind of zip round a bit, and I think it's moving faster than. I don't know if it's moving that fast, and it wasn't moving as fast as the Mini 3 Pro maybe. But yeah, we'll go round, do what we did on the other one. Trying to have a look around. I'm trying to see if it's actually moving around. My screen is a lot harder to see. Yeah, there we go. It has spun right round. Coming back into view now. Yeah, I thought the control and the clarity of the screen on the Mini 3 Pro's new controller was worth its money. That was really worth its money. But if you're on a budget and you've got a decent phone with a nice sort of clear screen, which this doesn't really, it's not good enough, I don't think. Then maybe you could still plump for it. But yeah, so there you're getting a view over everywhere. I think we did one view over, and then we kind of looked a bit more. It's hard to remember exactly what movements you made. I'll pick up the sky a little bit maybe, so you can sort of see if that changes anything. And then I think we'll turn back and go towards the beach, and then we will come back down the beach back to home, and then we can get the Mini 2 out and do the same thing with the Mini 2. Now I think it's a bit darker conditions now, so again I think last time the Xeno Mini Pro had the better of the conditions. I think this time the Mini 3 Pro probably had a sunnier, but it's kind of in and out. It's cloudy some moments and then it's sunny other times. So let's go down the beach. I think we'll be able to stick something together. I think you will get a good view of these three drones. I think it will be good enough probably. Drop the camera down a little bit. The camera movements are very smooth on this. The drone movements are a bit more jerky. If you control it quite well, then it does move sort of. It depends how much you put pressure on the sticks. But I think the Mini 3 Pro felt more intuitive to me than the Xeno Mini Pro. But it is definitely possible if you're just a bit careful to kind of move it a little bit more softer. So it's just me with my big thumbs and. But the Xeno Mini, the Mini 3 Pro seemed to behave a little bit better for me. But it is a much higher grade controller, so you know you get what you pay for, I think, with these controllers. Now I think we veered over a little bit here because we want to be away from the leisure centre. Don't really want to fly over the beach either if we can avoid it. Right, it's coming down towards us. Yeah, and once we get down a bit further down the beach, I'll hit return to home. And what's great about this drone is I think we will have precision landing, although what I think it does, it comes down to a certain level, then it will kind of go, yeah, I've got it, and then it'll start to land, and of course with the wind blowing it around a little bit, I think it will struggle to actually get on the pad, but we will see. You know, on a really calm, hot summer's day with no wind, I think it'll probably do better. But right, let's return to home.
Return to home.
That's what we did at this point, I think, with the Mini 3 Pro. But yeah, I mean, there's a few drones really. If you're trying to get like a beginner drone and you're trying to get like the best value for money, you know, and you want an under 250 gram drone, then you're probably looking at these. There's probably the Xeno Mini. I don't know if I was as impressed with that. I've got that one, but not sure I was as impressed with that one as I was these particular three drones. It had a lot of issues. Maybe some of the firmware updates might have solved some of that now, so maybe we should take it back out at some point. But yeah, I think like the Xeno Mini Pro to me feels very, it's not perfect, it's maybe not intuitive as intuitive as DJI drones, but it doesn't feel broken. It feels kind of like it's pretty well built, and I've got it out a few times, just had a fly around and enjoyed myself, and so therefore I kind of think it is an option against the Mini 3 Pro. I wouldn't say it's as good as the Mini 3 Pro personally, but I think there's that, you know, it's kind of a nice, you know, it's like a nice option, and a lot of people obviously don't know about drones other than DJI drones. It tends to be the sort of main consumer drones of DJI. So when you get it out, people are kind of like, oh, I haven't seen one of them before. But yeah, I kind of like it, and yeah, you might be getting wind noise from, it's quite windy out here. It's just the gusts are kicking up every now and then, and we're kind of like filming into the wind, I think. But I wanted to be able to see down the beach. Right, so the drone is coming down now, and hopefully it will land on the pad. It's obviously trying to land on the pad. It's obviously trying to pick it out, so you can see it's doing it, and it's still recording. But of course you will use your recording camera to actually look for this, so you know, you will have to sort of put up with it looking at its pad as it's coming down, which you may not want, depending on your preference or what you're trying to do. I think it will get to a certain height, then it'll go, yeah, I've got it. It'll come down, but it won't really have it. I don't think it's doing it. No. It's not done it. It's not done it, and it's gone over the sand.
Has been updated. Please be mindful of the new return to home point. FPV is now turned off. It will turn on automatically after the aircraft takes off.
Now the issue with this is that we got a lot of sand kicked up. I probably should have stopped it from landing and moved it. But yeah, I don't really want sand. Bad experiences with sand. But you know, it's an occupational hazard if you want to get out and fly. I mean, I never had any problems with the actual drone once it got sand in it. But you know, that's the thing. So you do want to avoid sand if you can avoid it. But anyway, right, I am going to get the Mini 2 out now, and we're going to do that. And it's turned off the recording for me. But yeah, I'm going to get the Mini 2 out, and I'll be back in a moment. Hi, we're back with the Mini 2 now. So this is the last of the drones today. And I've started the recording on it. And I'm basically ready to take off. So I'm going to take off, hopefully. Again, such a nice little drone. Love this little drone. Very sort of like easy to get out, very easy to, you know, sort of, you know, very easy. Just a nice, easy drone. It packs away nicely. It's got a nice little cover for it when you get the Fly More combo. I really like it. So I'm going to go up, getting to 65 meters, looking towards the pier. And again, I've got the problem of not being able to see very well on the screen, but then that's the problem with my phone, really. I think keep complaining about it, so I should really do something. Right, so we're going up to 65 meters, about there, just maybe a bit more. Yeah, right, and I'm going to drop the drone down. Now I think the drone is slightly, you know, an angle, and I think that's maybe the wind. Right, so I'm going to try and go forward. I think that's the wind of the drone. I think it struggles more than the other two. So it's bombing it down the beach now towards the pier. Let's see how we get on. And we should basically, yeah, it's moving quite fast, I'd say. Yeah, we should get a nice view of the pier. We'll do the same thing again, do a bit of a vista around the place. Yeah, it's blowing out a little bit. Now, it is going down the beach towards the pier, so that's good. I don't know if bring the camera down a little bit. It is blowing it, but the wind is blowing in the other direction, so sun's coming out again a little bit, so you might get a bit better, because obviously this is a lower size sensor, so you know, this is a 1/2.3 inch sensor, so you might not get, see that is, yeah, I'm gonna have to try and course correct that, get that basically heading towards the pier. It's going down that way, and hopefully then we can do a similar thing, but hopefully you're getting a good view and you can still make a decision on the picture quality. You know, yes, maybe the wind is a little bit more of a problem for this one, I don't know. Maybe the wind has picked up a little bit, so that's the other thing. It might not be its fault, let's say. So hopefully it's doing okay. So yeah, right, we want to, it seems to be getting to the pier quicker than the other one. I mean, it's probably just a false feeling that you've got, but yeah, it's down there. So I think we want to sort of go round again to the pier, and I think we want to go out beyond the pier. I've had no high wind warnings, so that's interesting. It's been blowing around a little bit, but we've had no high wind warnings. So yeah, I want to get over that way, then do a vista of it. Now you can get the Mini 3 Pro with the same controller as this drone. Right, so I'm going to turn back, which I think we did. Yeah, so like this is a similar. Yeah, see, look, it is not as far out. So I'm going to pull back on the pier, and then we'll see the pier underneath us. They're coming out from it, hopefully. Struggling a little bit, I think, with the wind here, but it might just be that the gusts have picked up. I'm not too concerned. I think we'll be all right. Okay, so I'm going to pull away. I'm trying to do similar things. So the pier's on our right there. I'm trying to do similar sort of view of it. It's very hard to get it exactly the same, but we'll try our best to sort of, you know, make it look as similar as possible. Pick the sky up a little bit, maybe. Right, okay, so now I think we can have a look across. Just do a sort of, yeah, smooth. Yeah, this is an easier drone as well to do quite smooth. I always like this controller, actually. So it puts your phone at the top and your controls at the bottom, and I think that does seem like a good method, really. I quite like that. And yeah, not that the Xeno Mini Pro controller isn't good, but it does feel a lot cheaper. It's a lot more plasticky than this. This is obviously plastic, but nice metal sticks. The other ones are metal as well, but they're not quite, it's just not quite as premium on the Xeno Mini Pro. Obviously the Mini 3 Pro controller is a deluxe, lovely controller if you get the Pro controller with it. And that, I really like the screen quality on that. I'm struggling to see this. I reckon I've got my brightness turned down or something, because it's definitely not as bright and as easy to view as what you could on the previous one. Right, so I'm coming round now. We're looking across the beach now. Now, of course, the footage will look totally different to what I'm seeing on the screen. It will look much cleaner, much nicer. So yeah, you know, it'll be a totally different experience for you on the video than what I'm seeing. So I struggle to pick it out, but you won't. Right, and I think we had a quick look like that, and then I think we came back, we went towards the beach, down the side of the pier, and then we went down the beach and then returned home, and then I think that will be that. And you know, I will try and stitch, you know, bits of videos together, and I will try and show you what it looked like. Yeah, it's moving a bit. That's probably my thumbs again, not moving perfectly. But yeah, we're sort of going back down the beach again. I remember those sort of, you know, bits of wood sticking out. So I think we're pretty on course. And we're coming back down the beach. It seems to be moving faster than the Xeno Mini Pro. I seem to do it a lot quicker, but whether that's the case or not, I don't think we've had many connection issues with it. It's sort of pretty good signal to the drone. Pretty happy with that. I think all three drones have been pretty good for that. So yeah, this is coming back down the beach, no problem. So get it sort of to the left of the leisure centre down there, which is where we're near, and then I'll get it to return to home when we're a bit closer down the beach. It doesn't have precision landing like the Xeno Mini Pro, so that's a feature that you don't get on the Mini 3 Pro, you don't get on the Mini 2. So if you want that feature, you've got to go with the Xeno Mini Pro really, or upgrade to something like the Air 2S, which I think it has the feature, but they don't really tell you about it. It kind of does it automatically. I don't think it's something they make a big thing of, because maybe it's not a bit hit or miss. But certainly on the Hubsan drones, they make a big point. And of course, if you want like a drone that can handle this wind a bit more as well, if you're going to go above 250 grams, then I don't think you can go wrong. We brought a Xeno Mini Xeno original Xeno 1 if you like, out here. Right, I'm going to do the return to home now. But yeah, we brought a Xeno 1, I like to call it, out here. I think we tried the Xeno 2 Plus out here, but that was a drone that we returned because it had issues with it. But yeah, the Xeno drones aren't bad, you know. Certainly, I mean, I think on like Banggood or AliExpress, one of those, you can probably banggood. I think you can pick them up for sometimes like £150 for an original Xeno, and you know, that's a really capable drone. It's like, I wouldn't go below that sort of drone. I wouldn't get drones that don't have like 3-axis gimbals and that kind of thing. Oh, it is doing strong wind warning now. But anyway, that's because it's gone up quite high. It's set itself to a high return to home, and then of course it's got higher winds up there, so it's kind of done it to itself. But it is over us and it is coming down soon, so I'm not too concerned. We're not far away from it if it does have to come down. Although I wouldn't want it to happen over in the in the marshes over there. I did try and sort of find a spot over there, and I realised it was all marsh. It's like muddy, sort of, you know, it's horrible. You definitely can't film over there. But yeah, so yeah, I think the Mini 2 is like the sort of all-round, really nice sort of budget version drone. And of course, you can still get a Mini SE, which is basically like the Mini 1. It's only 2.7k, but you know, you'll get that for like, I saw them £230 I think in Argos. I mean, that's, you know, one battery, but really good good drone as well to go for. So I've still got my Mini 1, I really like it. But yeah, I mean, it's a really good drone. Right, so you need to be careful. We're gonna have to cancel the landing because there is no way although it is I don't think it's got precision landing. I'm pretty sure it hasn't. But it was going to go on that pad, I think. I think it was going to go on the pad. I think it was going to go there. The wind's picking up a bit. This is the problem with the beach, really, is if you want to sort of land it. Landing. I think I've got it. Nah. See? This is the issue with the beach. It's so, you know, the wind picks up. I'm pretty sure I avoided any sand, luckily. But the wind picks up, and then you struggle when you're trying to land on the pad. If you've got sand all around you, you know, you're not going to avoid it particularly. So, right, yeah, my screen probably flipped round there by doing that. But anyway, right, so we will turn off the recording on the drone because it's done its job, and turn off the screen recording. But yeah, I think the Mini 2 is still a great value drone. I mean, it's just, you know, it's really good. And they haven't dropped it from the lineup just by bringing out the Mini 3 Pro. So, you know, you can tell that DJI are very proud of this drone, want to keep it going. So, and you can see why. It is a really good little drone. So, you know, if you're on a budget again, I think I really like the Xeno Mini Pro, but I think for the just pure ease of use, if you're going for a first drone, I'd probably go for the Mini 2. And if you're really on a budget, I'd probably go for the Mini SE, which is basically like the Mini 1, or pick up a Mini 1 off eBay. You can usually find them for good prices, you know, probably, you know, less than £200 maybe on there. So, but yeah, definitely they're very easy drones to pick up. If you've been flying around sort of cheap drones off Amazon and you kind of gone, oh, I can't control it, I don't know what's going on. Once you get something like this, like a Mini 1, you know, even for £100 odd, which will probably be cheaper than the junk one that you might have got off Amazon, you will think, wow, it just holds its position, it flies around based on what I'm controlling it. It's what you want. You just do not want to be messing around with 2-axis gimbal drones, you know, apart from the Spark, which is DJI, and that's relatively good. You know, that has obstacle avoidance and stuff as well. But again, 1080p footage. But yeah, this drone, you really do want, you know, if you're going to get a sub 250 gram drone, 249 grams, I think it's a Mini 1 or a Mini SE at the bottom. And then really, if you can, stretch to a Mini 2. And if you want to go a bit further, get a nice controller, about 800 odd pounds, you're going to get a, you know, get a Mini 3 Pro. So, but Xeno Mini Pro is still cool, but there's a little bit rough around the edges. But it is a good drone, and let's see what the footage comes out like, because you know, that may sway your mind. You may think, oh, the footage is excellent. So, and I think it is good quality on that. So yeah, so I would beginner drone, Mini 2, Mini 1. But anyway, you know, thanks very much for watching. We're off to get some fish and chips and enjoy the seaside. Rachel and Emily are probably fed up waiting for me. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you can, that really helps us out. If you can hit the like button, That'd be great. Thank you very much. I'll see you again in the next one.